Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Yeah, like I was gonna come at y'all with anything else. Anyway, right? Why committed men look better to women. Yeah, and I want to thank one of my commenters, Met3438. For suggesting this topic because he wanted to know, why does it seem women like a man when he has a woman? Now, I ain't gonna give y'all the same old trite stuff like, the women just being in competition or the women being scandalous or whatever. That's not real. I mean, that happens, of course, but that's not the real deal. Now for this, I'm going to use a reference. It's from a book I've talked about before, Smart Women, Foolish Choices. And it's by, two psychoanalysts or psychologists. I don't know what they were, but, and I had mentioned that this book was first published in 1986. So, as I always say, the game is old. Anyway, I'm going to read from an excerpt they had in here. Why married men look better. Right? Here we go. Many times we hear women comment that the good ones are all taken, or that married men somehow always seem more attractive than single men. There's a simple explanation for this. Married or attached men are not that different from single men. They just behave differently. When a man feels secure in a relationship, he is able to act in a much looser, freer fashion with other women. Conversely, men and women who are single tend to behave in tighter and more self-conscious ways with each other. This is why the singles bar scene often seems so shallow and unattractive. Single men and women complain about each other, and yet when the same individuals are met under more relaxed circumstances, they seem much more interesting and desirable. The good ones are not all married. It's just that the security and confidence that marriage provides allows them to act in a more natural and relaxed way than their single counterparts. Let those nervous, shy single men find a woman to connect with, and they blossom into good married men too. Boom. Now, check it out, right? And this is a lesson I learned way back during my college years, right? I knew this player, kept a steady girlfriend, but was notorious about messing with other women. And it was suspected that his girlfriend knew anyway. But one thing he said, you can be a whole lot bolder when you have a girlfriend. And, what it is, when a man already knows he got that one woman at home who's going to be devoted to him no matter what, he's cooler with women, whether he's trying to get sex or whether he's just chilling. Many men just really chilling. But then, because of the way they chilling, women find them attractive. One of the things when people are single, and I don't care what they try to tell you or how much they're not trying to meet the opposite sex, they still checking out people, and they more guarded. They think about what they're doing. They paying attention more. They're gonna watch their words. They're gonna have what I talked about in my development of sexual magnetism video. I keep referring to that. I ain't gonna make it free though. But they have an emotional condition. They think they have to behave. They feel like they have to behave a certain way to attract a mate, when that's not the case. All they're doing is just being themselves. When a man is married, he is more himself. I mean, he don't care. He's authentic. He gonna say what he want to women. He gonna say whatever. He gonna speak his mind. He ain't because, okay, say you're in a group, right? And this is something I've done a lot too. Just have like relationship discussion groups like at somebody's house or something. Yeah, I can always tell a difference between somebody who's married or in a committed relationship and somebody who's single and on the make. The married and committed people, that you get the most honest answers then. Because they ain't trying to impress anybody. But you get the single folks, especially the men. Well, men and women. The men, they talking and trying to look all like Mr. Big and stuff. The women, shoot, that women know she knows she ready to come off that chandelier, do a somersault and stuff, ready to ride you like you a horse and whatnot. She know it. She knows she got that good. All right, but in front of all those single men, she gonna act prim and proper. I actually had that at a seminar. We supposed to be talking about sex and stuff, and these women quiet because they ain't want the men who were there to think they were freaks. So when people, when single people together, they putting all sorts of fronts on. They are putting all sorts of fronts on, and I've even seen that. Like at singles parties. Like I was at this single party that I helped organize, and it's amazing because you had this one brother. He there with his wife. More dudes trying to get with his wife because she chilling. She ain't pressed at all. And then women were trying to holler at him, and I'm like, damn, all these single people around, y'all going for the married ones? But that's just how they more relaxed, they more authentic. See, when a woman meets that guy and he married, he chilling. He ain't trying to get with her. He ain't trying to impress her. That's one thing. Like, fellas, whatever you do, don't try to impress a woman. Do not try to impress a woman. See, you just be authentic. If you think whatever your political opinion is, religious opinion, your opinion, anything, sports opinion, just give it. Just be relaxed. But see, too many guys got that, tell a woman what she want to hear. So, the woman ain't seeing what the man is really about. Or he's giving her what he thinks she wants. And she might want his natural self. But see, that's what the married man or the committed man gives. Like this player I grew up with, when I got married. And I mentioned this before. He told me, yeah, that wedding ring going to get you more play. It's true, though. It's true. It's like, women think, sometimes you think, well, it's because they prove they with a woman and all that. And that could be a possibility. But like I said, the man's more relaxed. Now, it might change up if he's actively looking for like an affair partner or something. But most of the time, guys, they married, they content, wife feeding them, sexing them good, they chilling. It ain't till years later they start looking around and shit when she stopped feeding them and stopped sexing them. So, that's why many women will go for it, and that's why they'll say the good ones are taken. They might be in a conversation with that dude, right, for whatever reason. And, they clicking and everything because he ain't trying to impress her. He don't care. Really, if he talking with her, it's just something to do at that time. But, the woman's in love. She'd be like, because, women, shoot, they love that convo. And see, a guy who ain't trying to impress a woman probably has the best convo. Because, like I said, he's going to be natural. He ain't holding back. He ain't trying to impress that woman. Whereas the guy who's trying to impress her might be too nervous to talk. That's real talk. And that's even when dudes meet women. A lot of times they're not relaxed at all. And that could be even the case when you got multiple women. For some of y'all fellas out there got multiple women. You ain't pressed or not. You could care less about impressing. If you got 4 women, you don't care about impressing number 5. I remember years ago, I'd be like, damn, Ron, how many stories do you have? Well, like I said in the video, I'm one of those people, I could have a camera follow me around. It's like ordinary shit just happened to me, or, the ordinary day I go to the grocery store, there's an adventure in it, Shoot. Can't walk outside my place, there's a homeless person, like, chilling outside of it. I mean, that's how shit just happens. But, nah, though, it's, anyway, getting back to that story, right? I remember years ago, I was working in this gym, and yeah, Ron worked in some gyms. That's how some of my best stories came about. I could do a whole series or just the stuff that happens in gyms. As one coworker said one time, this place is a den of iniquity. Nah, but I remember I had this woman I was training, right? And she was feeling me like a champ. She was feeling me. I mean, I'm like straight up telling this woman, I'm like, honey, I got a girlfriend. I'm living with that girlfriend. I would probably marry that girlfriend. This woman was throwing that at me. I mean, it was crazy. And that's how some women get. Because, like I said, I was just totally relaxed. Well, I stay relaxed anyway. Yeah, I could go 6 months without any woman like saying one word to me. I'm still gonna be relaxed when I finally meet one. But it's that whole thing. They get relaxed. They feel like they're in love and all of that. And it's like, nah, boo boo. Nah, if you give your shoe, you get that other guy that been trying to holler at you for 10 months and stuff, a little bit of time you talk with him, you'll find out. In fact, one time I was at a retreat. Remember, I was at a retreat, and I mean, equal amount of men and women. And most of it was only maybe a couple married couples there. So it was mostly single folk, right? And it was that whole thing. When the first day of the retreat, there was a bunch of tension. But once everybody got relaxed, oh my God. Oh my goodness. I can't talk about what actually went on after that. But what they could show me, once people get past all that nervousness and all that stuff, they get relaxed, people can really hook up. But that's another video, another subject, right? Just understand when guys see women like checking out these committed men and they be like, hey, I wish I could find somebody like that. It was like, well, just find somebody who's relaxed. So the lesson here for the fellas, be relaxed. Be chill. Don't be pressed for that play. It's better. It is actually better just to be honest with the woman. Straightforward. Shout out Alan Roger Curry with Mode 1. Seriously. Just tell them straight up. Whatever your intention, whatever, just be like, shoot. They can either accept it or reject it. But you got to be authentic within yourself. So, just get that same relaxation that a committed man has. And shoot, you'll draw those women. Anyway, y'all. That's it for today. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.